Procrastination isn't a laziness problem or really a motivation problem. It's a math problem. Let me show you. Let's say 3 people have a task to do that none of them feel like doing. But one person takes action right away, the other person procrastinates on it, and the last person procrastinates but does so by default. What's happening? Well, since all behavior starts in the brain, let's have a look-see. Before starting the task, or not, each person does the same mental calculation. What is the cost of doing it now versus the value of doing it now? In other words, what will this cost me in time and effort and boredom and frustration? And then what's the payoff? What's the reward? Is it relief, peace, progress, less stress? And by the way, you do these calculations with almost everything you do, whether you realize it or not. For the person who starts, the value ends up outweighing the cost. And not because they're naturally more motivated or disciplined or morally superior, but because these 3 brain regions were turned up while they were doing that mental math. Their ventromedial prefrontal cortex was louder, which allows the future self to weigh in this decision more. It's like, I really don't feel like doing this right now, but I'm gonna be so relaxed later on when it's done. Procrastinators tend to discount their future self or not think about her at all. And you don't do no favors for people you don't think about. Now, when the VMPFC determines that this is worthwhile, it causes more dopamine to be released in the ventral striatum, which makes it more likely that you'll actually do it and want to. Finally, the do it anyway circuitry fires away. It involves the dorsal striatum, the anterior cingulate cortex, and a little bit of the dorsal lateral PFC. It does hear and continue to process the worries and complaints coming from your amygdala, but at this point, it overrides them. Now, what all of this does is just give you more power to suppress those negative feelings and more tolerance to deal with any of the residual discomfort that's left. So you start the task. Now, not only do procrastinators have much less of this tolerance because those brain regions were showing up less for them, but because in their brains, the emotional brain is the loudest, this side of the equation starts to feel a lot heavier. The cost, the confusion, the boredom, the insecurity of not knowing what to do or where to start, all of that adds up to the point that the cost starts feeling like a threat, something they need to avoid. Even if it makes no logical sense, like, bro, you're just calling your insurance company. Why are you putting that off? Well, what scientists repeatedly find with procrastination is that you're not avoiding the task, you're avoiding the feeling that the task gives you. And to make matters worse, procrastination actually pays off, at least neurologically speaking. When you put something stressful off till later, you feel better, more in control. Your brain actually rewards you with a little dopamine hit in that same emotional brain, a region that's already loud and sensitive and on alert. Like, imagine if you went to work and got paid for not doing anything. It seals a procrastination deal. And that's how people become chronic procrastinators, where it's not some occasional thing that you do with specific tasks. After your brain gets rewarded so many times for procrastinating, its literal structure changes, making procrastination the default option. So, what's the solution? Well, it's definitely not lectures and shaming yourself with stop being lazy mantras. If you're a procrastinator, you probably know that that only makes things worse because it adds to the emotional weight of taking action. To me, this video, or actually understanding what's happening in your brain, is the biggest first step. When you know what's going on and you can point to it and name it, recognize it, you can control it. The second step is learning and practicing specific strategies designed to hack the procrastinator's brain. You can scour the internet for hours and look for these resources yourself, go to YouTube, or you can download my guide where I already did that for you. And not because I'm trying to sell you nothing, it's free. It's because I truly believe that the more we all understand our brains, the better off the world will be. Meet me in the comments to snag it.